So it usually pops on just before. All right, there we go. Hello, hello. We're doing our free voice class. This is a group class that we do on YouTube. I also do my solo versions, but this is our group version. So welcome, welcome. We're doing, as usual, our first breathing out is our first step, remember? So we're gonna do our first 4 steps, and then we'll get into some music, seeing how like maybe challenges come up in specific songs. Every song, even the most simple songs, have challenges. And so we're just going to get into what it takes to make certain things happen in different songs at the end. But in the beginning, we got to get the voice ready, because the voice not ready, then it's not going to, and nothing's going to be easy or simple, right? So here we go. When we breathe all the way out, we're breathing all the way through to the earth, into the earth, okay? So I like to say through the perineum into the earth. You can also think through your feet or legs or hip bones if you're sitting, into the earth. As much as possible, going to S's and then letting that breath back in, just dropping the belly. And just falling that belly open, letting it be a quick movement so you get that breath fast. Okay. If we're talking in there, we have a tense sound and it's ugly. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, like that's usually where a lot of tension habits come from. A lot of the reasons why we don't hit the notes is because we have extra tension in places. So when we breathe in, we want it to be a not non-thinking, easy movement. The breath out lets us get centered, get in our body, feel our body, because that's what we need to know when we're accessing our voice. Breathing all the way out, and S's into the earth. Releasing that belly, letting it flop open. Quick breath. We don't have to suck it in, it's just there, right? Again, one more time. Breathing all the way out. And S's. And then letting that belly drop. So the reason why I'm so adamant about this is because I had so many nerves when I was singing, especially performing. I couldn't, like, no matter how much I practiced, I could never get that first note clear, clean, right, on time, all the things. So nervous, right? So this is something that taps directly into our neurophysiology. So it automatically calms us down. It gets us centered, gets us clear, and then immediate access to all the breath we need, right? So it's just part of my 4 steps. It's always the first thing. Easy, fast, strong breathing. Yeah. Second step we're going to do is just sighing. So all sound singing is sighing. It's vowels, 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 sound, sound, sound on breath. That's just why we start with breath. First step is breath. When the breath is moving easily and quickly, you can go to the second step, which is the vowel. All right, so behind on M, I'm gonna say ah. Sounds like this. Humming, right? But most people, when they say humming, they're just like, you can't hear it. It's not a strong vibration. Why? Because there's not a vowel. The vowel is the vibration. Something to remember. No vowel, no sound. No vowel, no note. High notes, low notes, middle notes, no note. So if you don't have a vowel, don't be mad if you can't hit a note. Okay? That's why it's the second step. You need these in order. If the breath's not moving, you can't have confident, clean sound. If the vowel's not there, it can't be strong, clear, and intentional. You can't plan on it, right? So ah behind M. Let's try that first. We're sighing that breath out as much as when we're breathing all the way out into the earth. It's our first indicator. Okay. Now this time we're going to open it up, but I don't want you to restart the breath. I don't want you to restart the sound. We're just going to see where it falls if we do open our mouth. Okay. Just see where it falls. It's different every day. Our bodies, our brains, or everything is different every day, every moment. So we need to tap into what the body, the sound, our voices are doing now, not yesterday, not when I did it really good that one time. Okay. How did you want us to focus the vowel? So the vowel, we just don't want to make the vowel in our mouths. Okay. The mouth is not where we make vowels. The vocal cords are down here. They're in between, like where a guy would have an Adam's apple, right? So that's the voice box. The Adam's apple is the voice box. So when we breathe out, notice how we can feel a little something there. It may not be much, maybe just a little warmth. It's really hard to feel if we're not centered. So the breath out really helps with this awareness. Breathing in, you'll feel the chords come together. It's way lower than we think. It's way lower than we think. That movement that you feel is actually the muscles that are moving, the vocal cords, because there's very few nerve endings in the voice box. And the closest thing we have is like the muscles, ligaments to the voice box that are actually moving it. Everything else is involuntary. We do have no control over those muscles. The muscles, the voice box muscles and our diaphragm are both involuntary. So everything we use for singing has to come from something our bodies already does functionally. And then our intention is the magic. Like, what do we want to sound like? What do we want to hear? What do we want to share? Right? So, ah behind M. Just letting whatever song comes out, we're really just getting to know where our bodies are in the beginning. That's all warming up is getting to know where our bodies are, letting things be easy. When it gets easy, that's when we're warmed up. If it's not easy yet, you're not warmed up yet. Okay. It takes some time to learn how to fully warm up. So don't let that, make you feel bad or anything. It just takes time. Once we first have to know what it really means to warm up. We have to learn what that means. What does warming up mean? How do I know when I'm warmed up? Right. And then we get to practice and see what happens after. All right. So that's the second step, is a sigh. Ma sigh is what I call that one. And the third one we're going to do is we're going to feel out our parameters. So there's the head voice and the chest voice. Most people have heard that when they're interested in singing, right? So the head voice, we have a characteristic sound. It sounds like this. Pooh. Again, it doesn't really matter what the note is. We're just seeing what happens when we release all the breath out. Ooh behind P. Pooh. And let it be a quick movement. Don't hold on to the breath at all, right? The more we hold on to breath, the more we run out of breath. It's a complete paradox, and it's always true. If you're trying to save your breath, you will run out faster. And the sound won't be good. Like, it won't be as good as it could be anyways. Okay. So every time we release breath, we want all the breath available for when? Now. All the breath available for what? This sound, this intention, this note. We don't need to save some for later. The body will regulate everything, especially if we already have like the intention sound, like the phrase or the song. It'll know what's coming. And our job is mostly to get out of the way. Right? That's why when we're singing in the car, we don't care. Like, we can do crazy things. That's why we're singing in the shower, don't care. You can do like things you never tried before, right? So that's what we want. We just say, get out of the way and just enjoy the music that happens to be coming from us. Okay. So poo is the head voice characteristic sound. It's important because we want to know, what is it when I want my sound to be lighter, brighter? How do I do that easily with the body and not make it harder? Like that. And when you come off the body, everything gets harder. High notes get harder, especially poo sound is related to high notes. Okay. Ah is our second sound or parameter, is our chest voice sound. That was my cute version. That's why my voice is like, you're not that cute. I've got a really big voice, so it tends to make uncue sounds. All right, so the real sound is ah, ah. It's like a really heavy baby. I don't know. I have a really low voice too, so maybe yours is a little higher, right? But we don't want it to be too high because then it's not in its optimum space. The optimum space for chest voice is low. This is low notes, fam. So ah. This immediacy, it's strength without effort. Like if we're letting the body take it, releasing the breath, it should be easy, right? Loud is actually easy. People always like, how do you sing for 2 hours at that volume when they look at opera singers and stuff? And it's like, it's actually easier than singing a pop song because they are letting the sound come through you, right? It might take a little more cardio. You might be sweating your balls off. You
That's so
will.
true. I'm a soprano.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
very cool. Very cool.
That
Yeah,
that's
it's so high
very true. Yeah, that's
efficiency
accurate.
that
Yeah.
is actually way easier. It's like trying to move in and out of like texture and R&B. All that stuff is it's more complex than you think, right? Um, and people that are really good at it are just really good at kind of going with what they're feeling. Like they're just going with their bodies, and they're letting the sound be a result of what feels good. So that's what we're learning. It's like just being like aware enough to be able to tell where our bodies are and like a go time, and then also to like know enough about the parameters of our voice so we can kind of allow the body to do the thing it needs to do. So we're going to move back and forth between poo and ah so that you can feel how some things are consistent. Breath out is consistent. Vowel and sigh is consistent. That's going to happen even on short notes, right? The body's going to move in a curve in a way. When you breathe out, you naturally come in a little bit. If I were to exaggerate that, right, it's actually a falling forward. When people say don't slouch, but you won't if you're singing because the pressure of the breath is going to keep you upright. It's going to line up your spine. Okay. And then when you're breathing in, it's kind of a natural expansion outward. We don't want the shoulders to go up. In order for the shoulders not to go up, the heart comes forward. The back arches a little bit. The hip bones will kind of come into play if we're playing into the full strength of our body. We'll feel the hip bones. We'll feel our feet on the floor. It'll become like a full arc, right? So that's where we can get our power from. A lot of times it's hard to find power in the voice because we have nothing to push against. So like teachers sometimes will line you up to the wall and have you like do like wall push-ups so that you can feel that there's actual muscles at play, especially in the back, right? So we're gonna do both of those sounds so you can feel that for yourself. Poo, ah, ah. Just notice what muscles move the most. Breathing all the way out. So we can really be aware. And again. Ah, ah. So that for me, that's like where all that immediacy is, like all the lower back from, I would say probably bra strap down, like the whole lower back, but mostly the lower back. So I call that like the lower triangle in the back, right? So just so you know, because when we need more, which is what we always think we need more air, we need all this. Yeah, probably need less breath and you need more connection with your body so it can let the thing happen, right? So we need more movement of the body, more muscles from our big muscles in the back and our intercostals rolling around from the front belly diaphragm, but we just have no, again, we have no authority over the diaphragm. It's involuntary, so we can't really make it move, but we can allow it to move by being open all the way from the lower body. That's how you breathe all the way out past the body into the earth. When you do that, all that's available, all that power is available from below the earth up. Ah, It gets way more immediate when we're open all the way. Okay. So, and then our fourth, or wait, so poo, I guess that's the third exercise. Ma is the second, poo and as a third. Oh, I don't know what I did. Four is, four is interpretation. Okay. So this is really tapping into the intuitive aspect, the musicality, the artistry, that it's what the unknown factor that makes it exciting and fun for yourself and the audience. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to find something we want to look at. Uh, find something pretty or just something that's there if you don't have a lot available. So we're going to just find something, and then we're going to breathe out and we're going to put our awareness on it. And we're going to breathe that in. And just notice if you feel any different. Okay. Now, that's when we do the full exercise, when we look at it, we're going to breathe out. When we breathe in, the next move is going to be ma sai with the awareness of the object. Okay. However that feels, what feels a little different when you breathe that in. All right. Breathing all the way out. And this is re-looking at your object. I kind of see it in my head too. And then breathing back into the belly. Yeah, that one I kind of expected. So sometimes the body feels a little different. The sound comes out a little different than you expect. Let it be different, because we want our bodies to start teaching us what our excitement movements are. Okay. So this is what I was looking at for that one. Okay. Now we're going to find another object. Breathing all the way out. Just finding your object. We're just continuing to breathe. Okay, and I got my second object. Find another spot in the room. If it's a different spot in the room, that's okay. So looking at the object, breathing all the way out. I'm gonna say the same sound, ma, breathing in, looking at the object, absorbing it. Ma. It's not a huge difference there for me. This is my second object, a little wood massager. A little more breath in that one. I can hear the difference, but it's not probably too audible over microphone. But yeah, mostly it's about, how does your body feel? How does your body feel different with a different object? How are you being able to track how your body's feeling different? Can you allow that to be part of the song, the sound, the moment of the music? You see where I'm going with that? Letting everything be part of the moment. Go ahead, Maya.
I just have a question really quick. So with the objects, can you break that down, like as far as the breathing part with the objects? So you just find any object, and then how do you do that?
So all you're doing the same way, like we're just focusing on it. We're just focusing on it. Sometimes it works better with like nature. I like to do this with plants, you know, like stuff like the inanimate objects, it can be different. Like if I do this with but like it does matter. If I do this with metal as opposed to wood, right? If I do the rock with it as opposed to wood, right? Then it'll happen differently. So really, we're just seeing what we're picking up. We're not assuming anything. We know what we're looking at, right? But other than that, we're just going to see how our bodies are responding to the object. And how does that make our sound different? So that's kind of the teaching moment. How does, and as it comes up differently, what do you notice? Do you
So we make the sound. So we make the sound. So we go pa, but instead of I look at this, for example, and go pa, or do the breathing technique by looking at this, though, right?
Yeah. So when the
Okay.
breath is the same as we did from the beginning, you're breathing out through into the earth, because
Okay.
that's how essentially we receive the information. Okay. We're
Okay.
looking at it, but we're breathing in from the earth.
Okay.
Okay. And then whatever sound comes out, it's like an experiment, right? This to see what's different when I look at different things.
Okay.
Yeah. Sophia, did you have a question too?
Well, breathing in from the earth, isn't the inhale in the air? Or do you mean
So
from the bottom of our feet, imaginably?
yeah, yeah. I want you to go beyond your imagination, because what happens,
Okay, because we're
they
on
like
Earth, so we
we're
can't
on
not
Earth.
breathe Earth's air.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not literal. This is beyond your imagination. Why? Because we are limited in our thinking to our bodies, but our bodies are not limited to our physicality. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
And
and
then when we're breathing in from the earth, what it's allowing is just us to perceive past our body, because we need more than just the physicalness of our body. When we're here, breath is here,
oh,
right?
yeah.
Past the body, it's limitless, right? It's just more expansive. There's more room. There's more time. You feel a difference? So when you're breathing, just, you don't even have to think into the earth if that's like messing with your brain. Just past the body. Just think, I'm breathing past the body. You know, the breath doesn't stick to the body, right? It's going out into the rest of the air, and then all of our air is mixing. So we're breathing each other's air, right? It's not limited to your body. So just let the breath pass the body, breathing back into the lower belly. When we do that, we just have so much more available, especially if we're going, like we're doing opera things. This is not going to do it. All right. Getting over 100-piece
Oh,
orchestra, this is not gonna, ain't gonna do it. Okay. Um, so yeah.
okay.
Do you have another question?
Oh, well, I was also wondering, um, do you know of any microphones that we can connect to our iPads or iPhones to, for when to sing, with other people online? Because I don't think the
Mm,
sound, yeah. Well, I've gotten feedback that, you know, without the proper audio equipment, like it's hard to uh have a singing lesson or anything.
yeah. Um, it may be true for the teacher. So like, this is my interpretation on that.
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
so
Or
you know,
have
like
you
it's
ever had
different
to
by teacher. I, I
write?
I hear primarily intuitively, so I don't necessarily need the mic to tell me what's happening.
Oh,
I
wow.
can look at
Okay.
your body. I don't even have to, like, I can look at your body and tell what's happening 9 times out of 10.
That's cool.
But and a lot of teachers can. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And like for recording purposes, like what you need is a mic that will pick up like the basic sound. Right now, I'm using a blue snowball. I just like it. A lot of people don't love it. I like it. I don't know. It's up to the
If
person.
it
I like
works.
it because it has a little bit of a room sound. So if it gets a little warmer, a little more, a little bit of an echo. But that's what I like, right? So this is
Okay.
also about what do you like. But then if you're talking about having somebody mix it, you want something really clean.
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of these mics are better, like they're better than most people can hear. Like honestly, most people don't have epic ears unless you're dealing with a really great engineer. They should be able to handle a snowball mic, or and
Okay.
that could, and depends on the person. The other one that I've seen, and I wish I knew the exact kind of the version of that mic, but there's like a little lapel mic, and I've heard some amazing thing happen, like some amazing mixes happen with that mic. So you don't need like some $1,000 microphone. A lot of times people are telling that either because they're selling the equipment and or um, That's an excuse, in my opinion. But that's me.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Wow.
um, like they might really think they need it, right? So I'm not saying um,
Wow.
that they're just being assholes. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. The quality, your phone quality is great. And that's true for all my clients. I've never had a client where I've been like, okay, that's not gonna work. I've had those little white
Mm.
headset phones that are just like, no, that's not gonna work. Right?
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
not any dynamic there.
I sought out a teacher for bel canto. Um,
Hmm.
so as I was trying to sing with her, at least a couple of times she told me, no, stop, stop, stop. It's like it's too sharp because the octave is getting so high. Like
Mm,
so I do have to kind of look for a mic that will buffer it. Yeah, or
that is
compress.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we're getting into
Yeah,
the
that's
high
why.
notes, then I would see, yeah, but like again, most devices, especially if you're online, there's a filter. So it's not necessarily the microphone that's causing the problem, it's the filter. So that's why I have the directions to turn on your original sound for musicians on Zoom.
Yeah.
So
Wow, is
that's
that
usually
d
more of the problem. So
yeah,
it's
I've heard
basically
it.
filtering the sound to keep it at a certain level so it doesn't bust out like systems and speakers and all that.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so basically you want whatever you're filtering the sound through to be able to know the difference between speaking and singing. And Zoom does
Mm.
that. So if you haven't yet, go ahead into your audio settings. So that's a little arrow by your microphone image. And then you can, depending on your device, but I think it's on iPhones now too. It used to not be on iPhones, but I think it is now. They have three different sections: speaker, microphone, audio profile. And then the microphone is below the microphone is audio profile. That third button is original sound for musicians. Okay. So
Okay.
that original sound for musicians, you want to be available. So you want that blue. And then you want I turn off high fidelity because that will give you a filter that that again can do things you don't necessarily want. I don't turn that on. So I only blue or turn on echo cancellation and stereo audio.
Mm.
Okay. And then when you
Okay.
come back to where our faces are, turn
I
the
don't
mid
see
on.
it actually. Would it be in the settings like general
Only the
um,
microphones, like it would be in
attack?
the microphone
Okay.
settings. If you get into
Okay,
the
well I'll
deeper ones.
yeah, microphone settings. I don't see a
Yeah,
microphone aside from the mute and unmute. But I'll figure it out. I'll look for it. Thank
yeah.
you.
So
And
that's probably
yeah.
the biggest thing I'd say would be what I would, you want to be able to, for me as a teacher, I want to hear the room you're in. So I want to hear how the voice is traveling. And then I want to hear the sound. It's not going to be, um, and when I say that you can teach beyond necessarily the sound, uh, they're not going to get the full glory of the sound on, online. That's the truth. Like that's the truth. Did they? I mean, and to me also, like if it's a requirement for them, they should know what microphone, right? That would be okay for them, right? They should have a recommendation. I would say that's the
Yeah.
minimum that I would expect from the teachers. Like if you're telling me this, then you should know what microphone would allow me to, for that
Oh,
not to
yeah,
happen.
she might know. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
yet to ask her. I will do that.
yeah. Ask them. They
Um,
probably know.
yeah.
They know their favorites. They might not try. They try. I think sometimes they're just also cognizant that not everybody has money to go pay for everything right now.
Oh, um,
So yeah.
yeah. May I ask? I actually have to leave. But may I ask briefly more about your class or maybe what you offer as a teacher, what your maybe target studentship is?
Yeah, for me, I'm looking for somebody like as a singer. Honestly, I'm looking for somebody who has like a bigger vision. Like I don't teach. I don't want to say it like that, but like if your
Oh,
only office is like performance or like being famous, like if that's your goal, I love it. And I'm probably not the teacher because you probably need somebody more connected and more like going to get you on certain stages and all this kind of stuff. I'm more of the teacher that is going to put your voice first, the health of your voice first.
oh,
I'm going to put like the real what you really have to do to make that happen first. Like what does it look like in goal setting? What does it look like in how many letters you're sending out or how many connections you're making? Or I mean, you don't do letters anymore, right? But
oh.
like I'm gonna be like kind of like what are we doing to work towards this goal you say
Do,
you want?
do you mean alphabet, the letters of the alphabet, or handwritten letters
I know we used to write
typed
actual
down?
letters, so like typed
Oh yeah,
letters
oh
to do
yeah,
auditions and stuff for opera.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought those would be
So
like managerial things, secretarial.
if
Yeah,
you are blessed with that, yeah. But
yeah,
even in the beginning, like you want to be checking on your manager, you want to be checking on your agent. You don't
yeah.
just like,
Like leave everything
but
to them. Yeah, you have your hands in the pie. Like
and you
you.
also want to be looking for the opportunities that excite you. You don't want to just kind of leave that up to chance either, which is a lot of stuff that
Mm,
a lot of people just don't even talk about. But not everybody's your perfect fit,
yeah.
and like you
Um,
might as well, especially, you might as well start in the places that you feel good and that you can do your absolute best. Um, music that you're interested in and that excites you and that you want to learn more,
mm,
people that excite you and you want to work with. Like it's also your job to know what that is, and in the beginning that's what you're finding out. What do I like to do? Who do I like to work with? What are the environments that I want to be in? Like, so that's kind of your job, is to find out, and then you can tell the agent, you can tell the manager, I'm looking for stuff like this, right?
yeah.
But if we leave it all up to them, one, they might not be doing the work, they might just take the money and run. Number two, um, they might just be looking for what looks best to them for what they will get in commission or whatever, whatever makes
Mm,
sense, more sense to them. And your career is not for them, your career is for yourself. So
mhm,
like
mhm.
those are kind of the things that I like to talk about. And yeah, um, I do group lesson, like packages is what I'm trying to say, packages of for lessons that run a little bit lower than my coaching rates, because we pretty much are focusing on voice on rep and then goal setting when it comes to how many performances are we doing, because again, like if we're waiting for somebody else to book us, then we're getting rusty. You have to perform if you're going to be a performer. So even if it's a craptastic space, you got to start finding spaces to perform in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm,
that when the real opportunity comes, you're there, you're going, you know?
cool. Yeah.
So
May I ask
that's pretty
whereabouts?
much it.
Yeah. May I ask whereabouts you are in the world?
I'm in
Yoko's
California.
territory. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in California.
Okay.
But I want to jump onto music so
Sure.
that we can
Yes.
get some
Yes.
music in.
By all
Um,
means.
yeah, so does anybody have any songs that they have questions about, or things that have been happening in songs that you want to figure out, like that's continuing to be a challenge, like this one time in this one song I always do this, you
I do.
know yeah, what you
Yeah.
got?
Um, So I guess the song Ego by Saint. I don't know if you know who Saint is, but it's the song's called Ego. But the riff, I mean, I would like to improve my riffs and make them quicker and learn the technique of doing it really fast and I guess you have to start off slow, I
Mhm.
guess, and then work your way. But I mean, the song on the ego part, I mean, I don't know if you haven't heard the song, I don't know how helpful it would be, but
Well, I could
yeah,
play it for myself. Like, what is how do you spell sync?
Saint, Saint,
Oh, it's Saint.
Saint, and then the riff, the ego, where he says ego.
All right. Let's see. Do you know how far it is in the song?
It would just be the hook. I'm honestly not too. Let me see. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
like what? Like if you bring a link, then I can usually just click on it. Um,
If you put
it's a short
Saint
song,
Ego,
so it's not
it'll
that big.
pop up. If you put Saint Ego, it'll literally pop right up. And then like on YouTube, like if you YouTube it.
Yeah, I'm actually there now, so I'm
Oh, okay.
just waiting for it to show up. You go. Oh, that's the fast version.
Or ego talking.
Well, there's a lot of
And then
runs.
it's
The
112. Yeah, that one.
ego.
Morning
That
and
one.
tonight, my ego. But it's the E. That part is just challenging for me to get. I don't know why. I've been trying. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah, like it's that is it. Well, are you like over the course of the song? Is it challenging because you just did it? The only thing I would like clean up is probably the rhythm a little bit, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, not the course of the song. And man, this is the key to start the healing right. So I like I can like the song is fine, and then it didn't want to eat that humble pie, no why. Oh no. And then the ego part, owning it tonight, my see how like it's not sharp, it's like sloppy. I want to get the E like a bam.
Yeah, yeah. Because like your natural tone like was beautiful and amazing, and it also is kind of forward, bring your body a little forward, right? Letting that fall forward like that is not the same place where the E is going to need to be,
Wait, can
right?
you say that one more
So
time? Say that one more time, please. Hold my body.
so when
What?
you so when you're doing that phrase and you're doing the phrase before and the few phrases that you did, right? The body's just slightly forward,
Okay.
right? And that's just an indicator that we're kind of letting it fall out. Like you're letting that sound fall out, fall forward. Whereas the E in that run has to be E, right?
Okay.
So that what I'm doing there is I'm doing lots and lots of E's. E, and then I'm letting my belly body lead because it knows the rhythm and the body has to prepare beforehand for the rhythm to be in play. If we're trying to do it with our face and our here, then it slows down, it gets a little messy, it gets a
Mm,
little, okay? Belly, below the belly button,
mm,
go.
mm, mm, mm. Okay.
Now
Oh.
repeat that E,
E.
there you go, with the belly. E.
E.
Beautiful. Yeah, you see how it's getting cleaner, cleaner, cleaner?
E.
Even before we add the notes, right?
Okay.
Now we're here. Now hear the notes. So that's our intention. Hear the notes. And then see how your belly responds. Breathe out. Hear the notes. Breathe in.
E. I guess I'm a little confused with the breathing out. I gotta practice that. What you mean when you say like breathe out and then like do you like
Yeah.
smell the roses and then blow out the candles, breathe out like
No, because I don't want anything forced. I
okay.
want it from the center of the body, right?
To
So
the
when we're
body.
breathing out, we're just letting all the air out. Hearing the sound, go. Breathing in, hearing the sound, go. Depending on how where you want that to go.
So can I do that fast, like super fast? When I do it fast, my question is, do I belly do it fast?
I wouldn't change anything you just did. I would just add the notes. So do it again. Do exactly what you just did, but add the notes. There's probably only three movements, right? That belly's gonna go. Yeah. Let the repeating vowel do the rest. Now try it again. Good. Now let's do it the way it goes in the song. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so so when you're ready.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, just let that. There you go. Again.
Go.
Yeah, we just need more of ease. You can't just do
Ease.
one per note. We need lots and lots and lots. That's what I
What do you
call them.
mean one per note? Could you tell me? What do you mean one per
Yeah.
note? Don't do one.
So if we did one E vowel per note, E, E, E. You see how the breath is leaving? There's not a lot because it takes 1/64th of a second for our brain to say we said E, then it's gone. If we try to hold on to one E, then the vowel deteriorates, the sound deteriorates, the speed deteriorates, the accuracy deteriorates. Okay, we need lots and lots of E's. E.
Oh, so you
Go. If I was going to go into like a operatic sound, it'd be even faster. Go. Yeah, it has to be
yeah.
quick, 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 quick. Yeah. So try it again. Just more ease.
So real quick, when you say do more ease, what am I doing that's wrong? Could you tell me what I'm doing because I'll understand it better? I'm not pronouncing each E. Is that what I'm doing wrong?
No, well, no, it's just that you're only you're only doing enough ease for each note, right?
Enough ease for
So what happens is that there's so much time between that and the next sound, or what is actually happening. So the E is just it can only do so much for so long. And so by the time you get to the next note, it's not as clean, it's not as crisp, it's not as clear. So what I call this is repeating the initial vowel. What's the difference? Because if you're Southern, an E can turn to an A, right? A,
mm,
right? If you're, so the first E, E,
E,
is where the vocal
E,
cords come together.
E, E.
Highest efficiency is when the vocal cords come together on a vowel with that efficient breath. Okay? So
Okay.
E, E, E,
E, E,
E, E, E. Try.
E,
Good.
E,
Yeah.
E,
You feel how
E,
your belly moves every time?
E, E. Okay.
So when
So
you're doing
each
the
E it
run
should
and the
move.
belly's not moving, then we need more. We need more
Oh, each
E's.
note, each run, each E needs to be move belly, each E.
Like when the belly stops moving, then we've lost impetus, we've lost cleanness, we lost focus. Okay?
Oh.
Ego.
E,
Say it.
E, 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 go.
Yeah.
E, 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 E.
And the more we get back to that clean initial vowel, The more crisp it is, the cleaner the sound will be. Go. So this dude has like really nice falsetto going on here. It's like all what we call an upper squealo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. He's doing it with his face because it's all here. Yeah,
Nasal, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
we don't really need that because we're girls. So we just use the belly, belly.
Uh, uh,
When that belly's
uh,
loose and move,
uh,
that's gonna be automatic, just by our temper. Okay.
okay. Okay. Mm.
Go. Try it.
Yeah. 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 Go.
Good. I'm gonna add one more thing. I want you to think as the run is going, it's falling down your spine. Okay?
Mhm.
As the run is going, it's falling down your spine.
Okay.
Go. Try it.
Okay. Here we go.
Beautiful. And all that imagery I did there was just what we were just talking about. Most of the energy is on the back side of the body. If we're only worried about what's coming forward, there's no power and there's no sustainability. So what happens is that we keep falling forward, which is kind of us talking about that phrasing that you're doing. It's real beautiful, real like I don't really want to mess with that. But when it's time to come back to the body, I want you to remember to come back to the body. And in a run, you especially like that one on the E, you're gonna need to be pretty central.
Pretty
You
central.
know?
Is it
Yeah.
wise to I've never had voice lessons, but someone taught me a couple years ago to plug my nose like this as I sing like this. So I naturally now just plug it like this. So when I'm singing, here go, I'm plugging my nose like this. Is that wise or no?
I think all devices are temporary.
Okay.
If you're holding any position, then it's causing tension over time. Now, if you
Uh,
want to do something just because you like the effect and it's good for the moment, then that's fine. But what you want
mm,
is to, again, build the healthy voice, and then it's available for all of that whenever you decide to use it. But
okay.
like to make the technique the habit
Mm,
doesn't allow for new experiences that may not include that, all of
okay.
that kind of stuff. And what I hear in the sound when you do that is that, yeah, it focuses it initially, and then it loses immediacy, it loses power, it loses breath. It's like there's some little
Mm,
leaking there. So
okay.
so yeah, maybe using it to kind of find the space and then going back to something a little more relaxed and natural.
Okay, awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, and that's like a lot of different techniques that people are using. A lot of these, because everybody wants a new exercise because the exercise is gonna fix all the things. Like, yeah, well, no, that's not what happens, right? Certain exercises just give you other experiences of your voice, so you know they're available. It's not
Mm,
necessarily fixing you.
yeah.
And then how we build our muscle, how we build our musculature to support the sound is really important. Like somebody who's doing bel canto understands, like the musculature is what houses the whole thing. You can only get to your full voice if you're building muscle in a balanced way. Um, and so, yeah, when you're doing devices like that, even like as bel canto singers, teachers do this as well. Like they have like these sort of devices. I had one lady like literally was putting a belt in people's mouth to keep them like the 2 inches, if you've ever heard of that, open, and like tying them to a door or something, like whatever,
Wow.
but like to keep them up. Yeah, like it's a device because we're so used to speaking here, but if we're holding here, we're causing this back tension, which starts to put strain on the vocal cords. So
Mm,
it's just not a great plan, to like, again, like let the experience tell you what's also available in the voice, and
mm,
then come back to what's natural and then what muscles are, because that's what's really happening. It's the vocal cords are in a certain position. Usually, if these things, the voice box is what we call seated. It's like in the place where it brings in the, it allows support to happen so that connects to the belly, right?
Yes.
All of these different devices, there's a reason behind them. I'm more interested in the reason behind it. Well, why did you make me do that? Oh, I can see how that made my vowel crisper to go, because that's another one I've heard. It's like, show your teeth. Go. It makes a tinier vowel for me at the vocal cord, right?
Mm,
So what that does for me with a big voice, you have a big voice, right? What that does for me is that it lets it that lets it be a little bit easier because there's not as much like wind gusts of breath coming through.
yeah.
And it also makes it a little bit more, I don't know, sweet, feminine, however you want to see that. But like it's like it's more right because like I can get real meaty, right? Because that's
Yeah.
just my voice type. Yeah.
Yes. I love it. And that's what I would like. That's what I'm looking for. The cause and to learn the science behind it so that way I can dissect my own unique voice so that way I can bring out the best in the most healthy way that benefits me and prolongs it. So when I'm 90, wearing Depends, I can still bust a note.
Yeah, exactly. That's my goal, right? It's like I still want to be able to, I want full access to my whole instrument my whole life. And
Yes.
like if I'm pointing it in these corners because it gets me there faster, then I don't ever get to experience my full voice.
Yes. Absolutely. Love it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're so welcome. So yeah, like you know where to find me. Sometimes I take a little time to answer messages, but I do answer. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And Sophia, if you were interested in knowing my rates, just feel free to email me and we can go from there.
Yes, I would like to know your rates and to find out like your days and everything like so just email you for everything because I want to find
Yeah.
out the process to and okay. Are you a full-time voice coach or just part-time or just email you and we'll talk about all that? Like
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
is it
Just
like a couple
email
days a
me.
week or okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I mean, I have my preferred days to schedule, but
Beautiful.
I'm also flexible.
Okay.
So yeah, just contact me and we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Awesome.
We'll go from there. All
Yes, you're
right.
amazing. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. I'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Thank you so
Bye.